It's time for a nature stroll. Hey fellow nature goers, today I'm at Brun Ridge Forest Preserve. It's part of the Kane County District. It's also known as Paul Wolf Campgrounds, if you've ever heard of that. It's off Big Timber. And today I chose a spot because this forest preserve has literally been across the street from my neighborhood for most of my life. I have had many different cherishable memories here. One of the very best things about this place that I love is that my family has come here to take walks. I could come here and grow. I could come here with friends and go biking, just to get out and explore. It's kind of been my personal relief. And I think one of my most favorite memories about this place is when me and my friend decided to come biking here during the summer of high school years. And it was right before sunset. And we came all the way to the back of this forest preserve hill and watched the sunset go down, which is a spectacular view. The best part about that was that we had to go back through the forest after the sunset. And if you've never been in a forest, when the sun sets, it's extremely dark. I think the scariest moment was when we went to the top of the hill and our bikes got stuck in some mud, and then we could just hear all the nocturnal animals running around. I'm not sure if they were gonna come and eat me. Me and my friend were mostly just terrified and wanted to get back home. Probably not the story you were thinking of. It is just something that I look back on and it's so humorous, it's just funny, and I don't know why we would decide to come all the way to the back to see the sunset, but it was fun. Also, another story that I remember is when me and a different friend decided to come here right after school one day, and it was snowy out and we wanted just to see what this place looked like. So we came all the way to the back again. It seems to be kind of a trend. And what we did was we saw this open field that was just covered with beautiful snow. It just looked like a blanket of clouds. And we decided to walk through it. Halfway through walking, my foot went through the ice. It happened to turn out that we were on top of a lake. So as you can imagine, we tried to run back off, and before you know it, we were knee deep in ice water. Not the best thinking on my part. But it was, again, a fun, humorous moment, something that just kind of highlighted in my life, and I will never forget. But I think something that's best about this place is just the spot where I am at now. And if you haven't noticed, I'm up in a very big oak tree. And just look at that view. Absolutely amazing. Just such a great view, a great place to go. If you really want to go to the top of the branches, you can, but I don't want to do that now. And honestly, just this place gives an amazing sunset. You can see wildlife on many occasions, like white-tailed deer and stuff like that. But mostly over in this direction, over here, you're gonna see a beautiful sunset. But be aware that if you wanted to see that, you're probably gonna have to go through a forest, trike up the hills of mud, hear all the nocturnal animals. I don't know if they're gonna eat you or not, but I wouldn't want to stick around to find out. And with all that said, why don't I give you a tour of the forest? So the 600 acres of this nature preserve is actually a restored forest, and what that means is that at one point it was somewhat used for maybe farmland, maybe someone's house. And occasionally a main indicator of that is you can probably see some of these posts of barbed wire that are here. They're actually pretty old and no longer in use for anything. They'll just be in the middle of the forest preserve. And this is just another indication of that. It was somewhat separated land and could have been farming, someone's house, and so forth. This nature preserve has many different kinds of ponds and lakes, such as this one right here, which actually is probably the one that I walked across with my friend. You can see how layered it is. And these lakes and little ponds give much of the vegetation for the animals here. Birds always come to this spot right here. If you're a big bird watcher, I highly recommend it. And provides the water source for many of the different kinds of land animals as well. So you'll see many deer, foxes, coyotes. There are many garden snakes here, frogs. There's a ton of spiders here, there's squirrels, and so forth. And a lot of birds. And again, this place is home to many different kinds of animals. Right here we see a deer. Yep, and there they go. So again, you can see a lot of different animals come through here. These white-tailed deer are so prevalent around this place. As you see, as we come to one of these large open prairie fields, these trees are actually fairly new. It's part of a restoration to this land. It does provide a lot of shelter and vegetation for these animals. As you can see, they're already taking place in here. We have a mother and her offspring. As you see, they're kind of just checking me out now. I hope Dad's not close. That'd be very bad for me. And she's gonna say, let's get out of here. So again, as you can see, another one of these posts just kind of indicating that someone used to live here maybe, or is part of the farmland, which is most likely the scenario. Place right here just gives you a big reason. There's so many different kinds of plants. There are different soil types within this area. This forest is actually one of the biggest in this district of Kane County. There's many different kinds of activities you can engage in, including fishing, camping, horseback riding trails, winter activities as well, hiking, biking, and for me, just a place to come and de-stress, especially during finals time, and get away from everything, kind of just tune in and hear my own voice. And just an amazing view. Just shows you all the different kinds of species of plants, trees. These trees are still budding. As you can see, there's not too many leaves in them. If you're biking here at night, you can definitely see why it gets so dark. It's just those leaves come over, produce so much shade, and soon you know it, you're gonna be stuck on top of a hill like this one and trying to get through the mud. Just something that I think is really cool about this forest preserve is that they do, trail close for revegetation. And they allow these trails to just grow back. It's kind of just a nice restoration that they want to keep here. First heard nature writing and I started this course, I wasn't really sure what I got myself into. Besides being a capstone requirement, I was thinking maybe it was more on the lines of writing better reports about nature and just things like that. But something that really opened my eyes was honestly on the first day of discussions and examples, and one that I can specifically remember was watching the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring opening scene, and discussing how that was part of nature and nature writing. So I soon began to realize right from the start that nature writing can be all around us. It can be in videos, pictures, posters, and honestly, it's writing that incorporates emotion, connections. I think the biggest thing that I can take away from nature writing is learning how to express myself to other people, the connection that I can use emotionally, even using scientific facts. It's a lot different than writing a lab report. And this will help me as someone who's trying to go into the healthcare field. I think that speaking to different people, different patients, trying to explain things through different points of view is extremely helpful for the future. I found that after going through different assignments, writing different essays, and short answer responses, and reading a lot of different articles, I was able to kind of unlock something, and it was at first hard to crack open. And I think that this is one of the classes that really taught me many different writing skills. I encourage those who have been watching to also try and explore nature writing and dive deep and really let loose. I think that's the biggest part about this course that I've learned is just kind of let loose. And you can still use facts, you can still use specific words and stuff, but there's a way to just kind of make it you. It really allows you to open up to the viewer, the reader, patients, let them understand what you're feeling. So with that, that does conclude my video and tour of this forest today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is a beautiful spot. I highly recommend coming here. Definitely just try to take away the appreciation that forest preserves offer for you. Just like this one right here. Extremely beautiful and just refreshing. So thank you and bye.
Let's go. Make no excuses now. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. Let's go. Your time is running out. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now.